Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
The bounce is back.
Yes, y'all. Sugar be all. Yes, y'all. Sugar be all.
First Usher album.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is this Devontae?
Yes, y'all. Sugar be all.
All the time I think of you, holding on to someone new. Don't make me lose my mind. Seems like I've been here before, baby. I can't take.
I like that, Andy, bringing us in with that first Usher album, Think of You. I can't remember if this song was produced by Puffy or Devontae. It's one of them. I'm still waiting to see Usher perform, these songs again. Probably never, and especially now, the price is it was Puffy, okay, which is perfect. I mean, I figured it was on theme since we're going to be talking about Puffy. Give me back some publishing rights. That first album, for me, was, pretty darn exciting. I saw Usher open for Mary J. Blige, I think, it probably was the second album. But Mary, Janet, that was that 90s stuff. He was getting it off. Shout out to Usher. It's been 30 years now, and he's still taking it down. About to blow through Paris with that show. Ticket prices creeping up to those Beyonce prices. I don't know. Live entertainment these days. Goodness.
You know what, Jill, what's crazy is today, I go on Instagram, and I felt like every female friend of mine was at the concert.
Absolutely.
Right? And I just remember discussions about the ticket prices for her tour. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, y'all must got some money in y'all bag because everybody and their mama was there.
No, it was a Beyonce fund that started last summer when the album came out. They probably knew, stashed it away. Let me tell you, I saw resale tickets for her birthday show going for $13,000, $10,000 for floor seats. Beyonce's show, there were seats that were called listening, audio only seats.
Audio only.
And they were up high in the rafters, and they were obstructed view. You couldn't see the stage or the performance. You really could just hear. And they had a screen to show you some of it, but those tickets were $50 or $60, but you couldn't really see it to be up in the thing.
Shout out Beyonce.
Shout out Beyonce.
Listen, Beyonce is a whole economic system because, baby, those merchandise lines, they were wrapped around. You see, she got my money. Times two.
I did, people.
And a fan. I certainly did support the queen. I paid in my chrome looking like a disco ball. My outfit was fly. I was ready. I had it in my closet. I didn't even have to go shopping and buy anything. I was ready. You say sequins, you say silver, I'm ready. I'm there. I got it. So we were on point. Shout out to B. So you were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Andy.
Jill.
Yeah.
I saw your little video. Was you on the floor too?
I was on the floor.
Okay, big baller. I'm trying to be just like
on
you.
The floor. But I was not on the floor for the birthday. I didn't go last night. I was there first night, night one on the first, different, different discretionary income levels, I would assume. You know what I'm saying? But I was in the building.
One more question.
Got you.
Was it like hell leaving that joint?
In what capacity? You mean getting out of the parking lot or getting back up from the floor? Because nobody told me about the ramps down to the floor section. And I was smart. I was like, I'm not going to wear heels because I'm going to be standing all night. And there's a problem. But, yeah.
Getting out the parking lot and just getting out of the area.
Getting out of the area, not a problem. Getting out of the parking lot, a problem. I felt like we were parked inside felt like we were all the way back at Crenshaw, basically walking all the way back up to SoFi, and they hit us in the head for $100 to park. But you know what? Listen, I was like, I don't got a choice. I'm here now. Where am I gonna go?
Shout out Beyonce.
They do their thing on you. But shout out to B. Like, everybody was there. So, okay, we have the LA Try Guy here, and I've been grilling him. What have been your, not necessarily, maybe not your favorite, not the best, just would have been like your 3 most memorable food experience that includes some of your favorite foods or something in this run?
Ooh, I would say in recent time, I visited A1 Burger.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Right
mug
there,
is
yep.
crazy. That joint, I got a burger, fries, and a drink for $9. I was like, God dang, is this really beef? Or like, what y'all got going on around here?
Got those old school prices, right?
Yeah, it was good. Oh My Burger in Gardena.
Yep.
That pandemic boss goes stupid. Crazy. Definitely Sweet Red Peach Carolina, for sure. Yeah, those are some of my favorites of the year so far, for sure.
So, what is your favorite? Like, do you cook?
I will cook.
I'll will
cook for you, for sure.
You'll cook for me?
For sure.
Okay.
What you want?
So, here we go.
Yeah,
I don't
here
eat
we go.
beef or pork,
Oh,
so
damn.
we got to start there.
Chicken
Chicken
and seafood.
Certain seafood.
Uh-oh.
I only eat crustaceans.
Only crustaceans.
I don't like the swim fish. It's
Okay,
it's a
okay.
whole mess.
Okay.
It's a lot. So you're gonna learn to cook, like, so you don't already cook. That's interesting. You just have an amazing palate, right?
Yeah, exactly. You said it, not me.
Okay. All right. So has this inspired you to want? You said you're gonna learn. We know you're gonna learn to bake.
Yeah.
But
that's
do you want to learn to cook?
Yeah, that's part of what what me and my production team are working on, actually.
Okay.
I don't want to put too much out
No.
there.
No.
You know,
I see the vision though. I see a lot of things that I can
Yeah.
see coming together,
Yeah.
formulating. Okay.
We starting with bacon. I'm gonna tell you
Okay,
that.
starting
but we're
with
actually
bacon.
gonna go to some different cooking situations, and we're gonna kind of reverse engineer me into Anthony Bourdain type thing.
Okay, I like that.
I'm starting from, because the everyman like me don't even know how to. I mean, I can I can cook. Look,
You can do. You got your eggs. you can get that.
Exactly.
You're
not gonna
do
starve when
something.
you with me. I'll make sure you know that. Okay.
Something.
Yeah. We're gonna have some bacon and eggs in the morning.
But you're gonna step it up, so you're gonna be chefing.
Exactly. But I'm gonna be learning, because I don't know
Right.
nothing right now. But
Okay.
I'm learning.
So through this journey, right? So what does your family think? I mean, obviously your cousin's here, but what does your family think when they saw you sort of ascending in this role? Like, they know you left home to work in this one capacity, and now all of a sudden something that maybe was a hobby to you is now becoming a career thing.
Yeah.
What were their reactions?
My family used to that. They know I've been doing my thing since I was 17. Like, I've always been a hustler. Like, before I moved here, I had an ice cream company in Arkansas, like my own. Like, we had a truck. I had a spot in the mall. Like, my cousin worked for me then too.
Okay.
Then too.
Yeah,
Okay.
we was hustling. We always been hustlers. So they used to me out doing a lot of random things.
So what is it about LA and this experience that has been different to you than, per se, if you maybe would have done it at home to start?
Well, as we discussed earlier, it ain't nothing but about 200,000 people in the city where I'm from. So not as many eyeballs would have been on it. And y'all got some really iconic places out here in LA that not just LA people know, but the whole world knows, So coming out here and starting, it was like kind of starting on the next level already. It's just like people out here already know. There's a lot more people. Now when I do go back to my place, I've already had myself like established as like a personality now,
Okay. Well, when we come forward, we will have more with the LA Try Guy. And of course, we're going to get into these trending topics and headlines. We're going to talk about the Deion Sanders halo effect, what he put down this weekend in Colorado, how it's impacting his son. All of that and more. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm David Goldberg. a bilingual elementary school teacher and president of the California Teachers Association. As we start a new school year, there's something new happening in California's public schools. They're called community schools, where families, students, educators, and communities are making decisions as one.
As a parent, I feel like we're really valued as partners in the education system.
Community schools are bridging the systems of academics with the community.
The curriculum is designed around the students and their academic needs.
I know community schools are working. We see it in parent involvement. We see it in student academics.
We saw double-digit gains in math, English, and reading scores.
It's a more innovative, holistic approach to educating students.
I really feel like this is the first time that we're really seeing a system change in our school.
It's innovative, fresh, and they're already working.
We invite you to learn more about community schools as we come together to reimagine public education here in California. And that's why CTA brought you this message.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. And as I said, we are here with the LA Try Guy. And, you know, he has teased that he's about to learn how to cook. I can't wait to see the videos from that. YouTube, you about to be hooking us up with everything. So, you know, we're going to be letting him go, sadly, soon. Teardrop, teardrop, teardrop. But, of course, I have to hit you with some more food questions. What is your personal favorite meal?
My personal favorite meal? Oh, man, that's... What you laughing for? What you think my personal favorite meal is?
Everything.
Everything? You don't have one?
I go through phases where I just be eating. So you know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
so what's your favorite? What's your taste right now? Like, what's the favorite go-to right now?
A Whopper from Burger King.
Really?
Yeah, that
No
Whopper goes
way.
crazy. Yeah.
No way.
I'm not lying.
That Whopper with some bacon and some cheese on it. Ooh, my God.
What?
For real. For real. That's the move
Alex,
right now. I know.
Come on, that's not what I was expecting as an answer.
Hey, I'm being real with you right now.
Okay, we'll take it. Cam, what's your favorite?
Okay, I like me some good old chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
You know, some nice, or some, on a cold day, I know y'all don't got a lot of those in LA, but on a nice little cold day, take a bowl of home cooked chili.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, my mom make a good chili.
Okay,
Good chili.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
My mom make good chili.
Okay. So, I would like to know, right, if you were making a suggestion for someone for a date, but to, you know, the local spots, right? Like, we're not high end. Where would you suggest?
A date.
Like a food date. Like, you know, we're going to go get ice cream. We're going to go pick up a little meal. We're going to sit out, have some conversation, chill. You know, where?
You know what you gotta say.
What?
You know what you gotta say. If we ain't balling on, you
Come
know,
through,
if we
Cam.
balling on the
We're
budget.
talking about these. It's not even about what budget we have. It's about we're doing this today. We're doing these type of spots. It don't matter.
Okay, I'll take her to nice little A1 burger.
Okay,
Get a little
okay.
A1 burger.
The $9 combo, thrifty.
Get a little nice little A1 burger.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would go. Man, I would probably go. I'll take you on a date. I'll take a female on a date to probably maybe something like a Korean barbecue joint, or like something different, like something that we can talk about.
So that you could talk over the meal but enjoy it.
Exactly.
I mean, a happy ice date works.
Oh yeah, happy ice is nice.
Listen,
Happy ice,
you know,
yeah.
Zakiah Wright in the chat said, "Not a Whopper, gonna have to slide through Burger King and meet up with you." I know that's right.
Most def.
Okay. So we got, different Korean barbecue, maybe an A1 burger for the combo. Walk along Crenshaw, look at the, Destination Crenshaw, something like that. I'm going to give you that, Cam, because you're young and maybe you wanted to walk around the neighborhood and check it out. We'll do that. Forensic Accountant says, "We used to make triple Whoppers with cheese, but with shredded cheddar cheese meant for the salads. Our manager's brother got fired for stashing a case of Whopper patties in the dumpster."
Wow, that's crazy.
So you got people out here drifting on their Burger King work experience memories.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for that one next time I go. For
with
sure.
shredded cheddar cheese.
We get that triple with the shredded
Whopper
cheddar.
with some
Okay,
shredded
little
cheese.
special
On me.
walkthrough, special hookup. Okay, so more food, more adventures, some secret plots that we have coming our way. You got to be locked in on Instagram, locked in on TikTok, locked in on YouTube to the LA Try Guy, right?
Yes.
And we just got to stay locked in.
Yeah, stay dialed in, stay locked in. We got a lot of stuff on the way for sure.
Okay, we are excited. And Cam, you got to shout out your social media, Cam.
Yes, ma'am. TBP_Cam. That's me right there.
TBP_Cam.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
See, now I got let me stop. I'm tripping over my words several times a week. It happens. Players mess up. We got all of that. So make sure that you are locked in with the LA Try Guy and Cam. Keep up with their adventures. Watch out for new products coming our way. All of that and more. Thank you so much for joining us on RSVP with Jill Munroe here. Before we go, I mentioned Deion Sanders and the Colorado effect, right? And what he's doing down there. Obviously, he is boosting the economy. He's bringing culture and a winning tradition to them. What are your thoughts on, because you lit up a little bit. I saw a little Cam give you a little nudge when I mentioned Deion. So what are your thoughts on Deion in Colorado right now?
Oh, my man's going crazy down there. I'm one of the. I am definitely a bandwagoner, for sure.
You following Deion wherever he goes, right?
Well, look, I wasn't even paying attention to Colorado until all that started happening. You know what I mean? But the man he's everything. Marketing genius. He's got the winning culture, like you said. He's got the whole United States tuned in into what Boulder, Colorado is doing right now. Definitely respect that. He's got them boys dripped out too. Them boys making money over there. They're doing it all. But
NIL deals, stepping up. Crazy. Got their swag and their confidence building.
Most def. But they winning too. So
they are. Game one. Andy, I got you. I see you.
I want to bring it back to food real quick.
Okay, of course.
It's one little category that we haven't touched on real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is a black radio station. We got
soul
black
food.
Come on, you already know. We got black folk listening to us. Top 3 soul food spots, my brother. Top soul food spots.
Soul food, man. I come from the land of soul food.
So you are selective.
Man,
they got to make a big impression, right?
I know what LA is. You know what I mean? When I go judge soul food, it's like soul food for LA.
I feel like this is a setup. I feel like he is giving us the soft let down. Y'all got some good soul food, but it ain't soul food.
People
soul
listening.
food. It's tasty. It's okay. Little yeah around the house.
And you know what's crazy? I don't think we'll take offense to that. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, no, y'all got a lot of good stuff out here.
It's just different,
sure.
you know. Our soul food, like, you know.
Yeah, but soul food.
Look, listen, Alex. But yeah, soul food.
No. I would say some of my favorites so far have been Annie's Soul Delicious. Shout out Annalisa. She's got some good stuff, man.
That the turkey chop.
Oh yeah, the serving spoon, man. Shout out
the serving spoon, right?
They got that good mac and cheese yam combo with the turkey chops.
With the turkey
my god,
crazy,
stupid. And they got a good story too. The kids took it over from the parent, but they made them buy it from them, you know. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. You know, teaching y'all that kind of responsibility like that, which it's amazing.
What I love too is that along with you going and tasting out the food, you are learning about the history of these places, what they mean to the neighborhoods. And again, you're not just talking to the owners or the people that work there. You're stopping random people that are just, in the vicinity, and they're giving you their honest opinions and some of their stories in relation to these things. It's really,
Yeah, I be chopping up people like they family to me, like everybody family to me.
And now everybody's your best friend, right?
On me, like every time I see somebody, I be driving on the street, people will pull up next to me, give me let down my stuff just to tell me like, hey, like you should go here, or like my favorite spot is over here. Like everybody's family out here, and I love that. I love that about LA.
Okay, so we said Annie, we said serving spoon. What's the third one?
The third one, soul food wise, would be Hey, y'all have to get back to me on that. Hey, if y'all got suggestions, let me know.
We got Fixins. Have you had Fixins?
Oh, Fixins fire. Yeah, Fixins fire.
Doolins?
Yeah.
His face a little curled on that one.
Yeah, I had it.
Listen, I tasted. I understand. Okay, so we got a nice little list. We got some recommendations and referrals. We got like different treats and everything. I mean, that's a complete menu. We got some breakfast in there, some treats, some dessert. Well, you mentioned sweet red peach, but
sweet red for sure.
So that would be your go-to for the dessert thing right now.
Yeah, dessert for sure. If you're looking for bougie, I like Damien downtown. They got some good. You been to Damien?
I have not.
Yeah.
Okay, listen again. Putting us up on game. I hadn't even heard of it.
You
so
ain't been to Damien?
No.
Man, that's where I would take a date for sure.
So
Damien.
okay, look, Alex got all the things listed out. We like that. You got it all covered, and products coming soon.
Since you over here talking about places to bring a date, you know what I mean? You not being from LA, you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious to know if there's been anybody of the XY chromosome inviting you over for dinner.
Oh, they've been trying to cook for you.
I ain't gonna lie to you, my man. I get it a lot.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people, a lot of people will be trying to get me to come, like have dinner, like you know what I mean.
Where they want to cook for you, or they
straight up, like even
on
some.
Try his home cooked meal.
I haven't done a lot of that though. I ain't really done those yet.
I mean, I saw you go like with I think it was the turkey leg or whatever, where you went to someone's house.
Turkey leg.
Yeah, you went to someone's house, which I was like, listen, you are a different type of man, because I don't care. I'm not rolling up to someone's home that I don't know. So I applaud you for taking that. And you said it was banging, but
crazy. But she does have a licensed kitchen. Though.
I believe all of that. I'm still not going to anybody's home, and I believe it probably was fire, busting.
So oh my god!
Not going to anyone's home.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But you, like again, you're all over. You're making moves, and you have a pass to walk through wherever they welcome you. They're like, do. He's gonna come through, right? In the chat, Zakiah Wright says, Annie's Soul Delicious, hands down, has the best soul food in LA. Doolin's used to be the spot, but not anymore.
Yeah.
She says serving spoons right on. And then she says something else, and then she says he's on point with his food selections. I'm from LA, and I agree. So see, you continue to lead to get stamped.
All love.
Well, we appreciate you, crossing the velvet rope, stepping into RSVP with Jill Munroe. We have taken notes on your recommendations. We are definitely going to tap in with that and try out. Okay, so you said turkey chops from Serving Spoon.
Oh, yeah.
Annie's So Delicious. You said everything.
Catfish, oxtails, all that.
What was the spot? It was like peach cobbler and cheesecake at the same time, or maybe I'm tripping.
Oh, yeah. That's Sweet Red Peach you're talking about. Yeah.
Sweet Red Peach in Inglewood.
You ain't been there, bro?
No, I've been there. I
Okay.
just remember the video. You was tripping over the peach cobbler cheesecake or peach cobbler pudding or something like that.
She got it all. What you said sounded about right.
It sound like the
She
thing.
got-
Okay.
She got everything, my guy.
And then, well, I guess I should ask this. Have you thought about like cooking utensils? Well, you're just learning to cook, so you wouldn't know. But I mean, expanding or what about like a cooking line for men or a cookbook for men? Quick meals that you could make in under 20 minutes or something like that.
I'm good at that. I be making like chicken breasts and stuff.
right. Something like that.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, we call them pre-meals in my
pre-meals
household. Yeah.
A pre-meal to a real meal?
Because we pre-make them.
Okay. So like like meal prep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
We throw chicken breasts. We throw everything on the grill.
Everything on the grill. Do you grill? Like, can you grill? Like when you say you can't cook, like some people think grilling is separate. Is that a separate? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm learning. I'm learning as we go.
Well, look, I can get down good enough on the grill. I'm a work in progress, but I can do what I got to do.
Because they say we're losing recipes. You saw Fab say, I think it was the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
He was like, "Where's everybody throwing the cookouts and throwing the stuff on the grill?" Although Fab is Uncle age, so he should be the one putting the stuff on the grill.
Indeed.
But he asked,
Indeed, he should assume the duty right now. He's reached that pedigree.
But not everybody's ready for that responsibility. Not everyone is ready to take up the charge like you are. So
what's that age though on that?
On what, uncle age?
Yeah, uncle grilling duty age.
He's a grandfather technically. So his stepdaughter has 2, I think, small children. So I feel like that counts kind of. If you got grandkids, you kind of could be the uncle on the grill.
Okay.
Toe
sandals,
respectively.
Apron,
I don't know. You can make it your own look. You don't have to go the look from before.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you could have grill responsibilities at that point. I think.
I got it.
I think that you could handle marinating and throwing it on the grill and making sure it's right?
For sure.
If you're asking.
For sure.
I'm just saying.
For sure.
I think so.
I'm taking notes over here.
I don't think you're there yet. He's a grandfather, so there's a difference, and he was inquiring. But we're going to see. We're going to see what meals you put. This is going to be random as heck. What about drinks? Do you consider alcoholic drinks in the mix or good things like that? Some people go to special for tapas. Is that something in your mix?
When I go to some places, they have alcohol and they give it to me. I turn up off anything. You know what I mean?
Look, whatever. I'm not looking for a specialty for that. I don't
like a lot of sugar though. Generally, if I go out, I get one cocktail and then I get tequila sodas for the rest of the night.
All right. Well, make sure you were hitting up LA Try Guy on all your social medias. Tap in with him. Look out for his future food products and YouTube videos and all of that. When we come forward, you will have sports and news. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
I was wrong, and now I must move on, to another love, one that I can trust. With my heart, I know should never run away. Just can't talk no more, so I'm out.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Every defendant in former President Trump's Georgia case is pleading not guilty. The final co-defendant in the election interference case waived their right to an in-person arraignment today. Trump and 18 others are accused of trying to overturn the state's 2020 election results. California healthcare workers rallied on Labor Day to call on one of the state's major medical companies, Kaiser, to provide better wages and staffing levels. Organizers said it was ready to kick off the biggest healthcare workers strike in U.S. history. Black Congressman Barbara Lee joined the protesters in Oakland, California. Students entering college this year are struggling with basic math, and colleges are mostly blaming COVID disruptions. Temple University's math chair says it's not just that they're unprepared, they're almost damaged. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Score big on sleep and savings during Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable beds and get a $300 instant gift, good towards pillows and more.
Gotta stay fresh, my house shot with a rest bar,
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talent, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello, I'm Will Jimeno. I'm a retired Port Authority police detective and a 9/11 survivor. For 13 hours, I was buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. I was rescued thanks to brave people who were willing to put their own lives on the line to save mine. For 9/11 this year, a National Day of Service, I'll be paying it forward by taking time to help others. Please join me by doing your own good deed that day. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Sunny Digital.
Got the club going up on the Tuesday. Got your girl in the car and she Tuesday. Club going up on the Tuesday. Got your girl in the car and she Tuesday. Club going up on the Tuesday. Got your girl in the car and she Tuesday. Club going up
on the Tuesday.
Got your girl in the
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to, how do you pronounce that? Mannequin? I always jack his name up. Mackinnon. That's close. Do you know that his dad is Marcus Johnson that used to play for the Clippers and the Bucks? He's an Emmy Award winner, one of the first John Wooden winners from UCLA, played basketball there. Did you know that?
Crenshaw High School, Marcus Johnson?
Crenshaw High School, Marcus
UCLA,
Johnson.
Marcus Johnson?
UCLA, Marcus Johnson.
The one that had his son on that show, Ball on the Hills, Marcus Johnson?
That's right, Mariah Johnson, yes.
Okay, and he decided to do music.
He did. His other son goes by King Josiah on Twitter and Instagram. He's also the co-host on Gil's Arena, and he's done a lot of commercials, and he used to have that show, The Legends of Chamberlain Heights. It was on Comedy Central. It was an animated show about basketball.
Mm-hmm. Don't bring that cartoon up.
Why? What's wrong?
Man, Kobe.
Oh, I forgot about that. That is really ironic. I forgot about that.
For the conspiracy theories out there.
Yeah, they shouldn't buy into any of that because that is not it. Like, just
But Jill, though,
jokes.
Here's the funny thing, though. When that situation happened with Kobe, of course, that thing popped up.
Right.
I watched it. I was like, wow. When you go on that Comedy Central website and you go on that particular page for that cartoon, that episode is gone.
Yeah, I think that they made the decision to remove it because of the conversation much like this that is happening, and they didn't want it to look it looked insensitive after the fact. They didn't know beforehand. Kind of was like a Simpsons situation.
It looked fishy. That's what it looked like.
I'm
just saying, but
Listen. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And we were talking about Deion Sanders. Colorado signed Deion to a $29.5 million deal. And at the time, they didn't even have the money to pay for it yet. Their athletic director was like, he was going to find the money. They would figure it out. Right? So Buffs fans donated a record $28 million to the athletic department and sold out season tickets for the first time in 27 years. Obviously, we know that Prime and the team this weekend just beat last season's title runner-up in their very first away game. They have their first home game this season. In addition to that, Deion's son, Shador, is projected to make $3.8 million through NIL this season. That's name, image, likeness. That is how high school and college players are allowed to make endorsement money through various sources while they are still keeping their amateur status and allowed to play in college. So he is one of the top NIL players this season. And it's up $2.5 million than it was before his breakout game against TCU. He is expected to earn $2 million more than Dak Prescott's base salary this season, which is $1.7 million. So $2 million more than a professional NFL player's base salary, right? That's nearly $3 million more than Joe Burrow's base salary this season at $1 million. And also nearly $3 million more than Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence's base salaries this season. These are all starting QBs in the NFL. Okay? Yeah, the Sanders name, listen, it's doing some things. I'm sure all of those players are seeing opportunities expand. We obviously know the effect that it's happening for the school. Deion gave a speech after the win, and it ruffled some feathers because, one, he called out a reporter that I guess I didn't see the reporter's original articles or the references that Deion was making, but he did indicate that, you know, the reporter didn't say, it doesn't sound like he necessarily said anything particularly mean or nasty or wrong. He just didn't agree with some things or had some questions. So Deion called him out in the press conference like, oh, now you want to ask questions. And a lot of people felt like it was fair. And I mean, it is, you can respond, but at the same time, I think sometimes people forget that a reporter's job is not to be a fan of the team, not to make sure that they only show the team in the best light or the most positive story. It is to present whatever the situation is, in theory, objectively. You know, back in the day, reporters weren't even supposed to speak about their allegiance to teams. And of course, things are a little more open now. And I think it's natural. We know that people were fans of things before they entered in the industry or have a team that they root for. And I'm not mad at that concept. I think it's utterly ridiculous to think that everyone is going to be totally unbiased. But I do think that there are ways that you don't have to let that interfere with your coverage. And I thought that it was a little unfair, although very Deion, to put the reporter in that position. Deion also at this press conference reiterated how the fact that, you know, the NFL is a league primarily, well, not just the NFL, football as a sport is primarily dominated by African Americans, and the fact that a black man doing it his way, leading men, black men, would probably be intimidating to some and scare some. So I don't think that he is wrong to a degree in that thought, but I do think that, you know, Deion's going to be Deion, and we know he is a master salesman, but I also think that that doesn't mean that he is not above critiques. You know, he's a winner. He's shown that. He brings culture. He brings a winning environment, but that doesn't mean that you can't question the way that some of the things have evolved, how some of the things went down, you know? I think that it is realistic and a little, I don't know what the correct word I would use for how he treated that reporter, but just a little disappointing in a way, because I think it's low-hanging fruit, you know? And you know that someone has to be impartial, or at least the perception of being impartial, that you are not just giving us one side, the shiny side of the situation. And I mean, we're allowed to question some of the moves Deion has made while still celebrating the accomplishments that he's making. I think that's fair, and I think that's what reporting boils down to. Tony Yayo in the chat says, Deion is watching this show right now and keeping receipts. Shout out to Deion if he is. I am not trashing you, Deion, if you are. I am just saying sometimes people are going to have dissenting opinions. They're going to see things another way. They're going to ask the hard questions, because that is the only way that we can get to the heart of some matters, or just wait to see it play out. You know, par for the course. And Deion's used to that, though. It's no problem. He's going to continue to show and prove. I'm just wondering if people are starting the countdown clock on Deion going to the NFL. Do we think that that's something that we will see? Do we think that that is something that he is interested in doing? Because, at that level, the way that he can move, the control that he has over the players, those type of things will be a little bit different. So do we think that that is something that we see in the future for Deion?
100%. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
If Colorado has a winning season.
Just one.
Just one.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I just think after this one victory, he has some NFL coaching positions available for him, or at least if not on the table, they're definitely, some of these NFL organizations are considering bringing him on.
I would agree with that, but do you think that they are also, much like he alluded to in general, the intimidation factor? Do you think that there is a lot of thought? Because when you bring in a Deion Sanders, and if you're talking about bringing in a Deion Sanders at the professional level, right, at the NFL level, that's a lot. And does ownership want to open themselves up? I suppose it depends on what team, to everything that comes along with bringing a personality like Deion into the fold.
And you know what the best place would be for him?
Dallas?
You already know. You already know. So to answer your question,
he and Jerry are meant for each other?
Absolutely. It's just going to take one of those owners who are just lit themselves. You know what I mean? That's going to go ahead and match in. As you were saying that, I can see Jerry Jones like, I have no problem bringing on Deion Sanders.
And that would be their first black coach.
It would be.
I listen.
That'd be a good look.
It would be interesting, and I see how it could come together, but I just feel like those are two incredibly big egos to coexist. Like, I think that they could, if they're on the same team and they're feeling, when I say the same team, I mean the same side of
right.
Whatever discourse is going on or whatever moves are being made, then it could be lovely. But if they have a disagreement, like if it's someone that Jerry has designated as his favorite and it's somebody that Deion doesn't care for, boy,
right.
That could be interesting.
The only thing that I see where he might not go to the NFL is, my understanding is, he has a passion for working with youth and building them up. So I can kind of sort of see him stay in college, but if the bag is calling and if the money is right, I do see him moving to the NFL. So it just depends on, where his value is at the time.
The bag, the franchise. I mean, I see the enthusiasm as far as wanting to work with the youth and instill in them, and you can motivate them in a different way because obviously the players in the league already have their dough. So even though we'd like to think that they would fall in line and listen to Deion, I don't know, could get tricky, because some of these younger guys, they don't remember Prime in his prime. They've seen some stuff. They may have heard a couple of things, but I don't know if they respect the hustle like that.
All he got to do is play that Must Be the Money video in practice or whatever it is, and just show a highlight tape.
I birthed y'all.
And it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I think he got him after that.
I still think they will old head you. Maybe.
That's fair.
Here's the thing. It might start off cool, but if he, rides them too much and comes at them like, I was you before you, it very much could, because some guys are sensitive.
Sensitive, but I think they'll also respect that. You know what I mean? This is somebody who looks like me, who came from me. Look at his swagger. Look at how he, played in the league. You know what I'm saying? Look at his flamboyance. You know what I'm saying? I think people would they'd resonate with that.
Maybe. I mean, we see how well it went with Jordan as a exec, as a teammate / executive. Washington Wizard Jordan was a hard situation for some players.
I don't even think that's a comparison. You could look at Jordan and tell that he has no patience. Deion Sanders, he has patience, and this is what he wants to do. I think Michael Jordan he just did it because he can.
Okay. Tony Yayo says, I can see Deion going to big SEC or a Big Ten program before going to the NFL. He has more control in a college program. Agree. No ownership GM to deal with. He also says, unless they give Deion the Bill Belichick treatment, We'll have to see. Forensic accountant says the Cowboys will never have a black coach while Jones is breathing. And I'm a Cowboys fan. Interesting. Well, on the line, we have Fahima from D.C. When we come forward, we will tap in with her and see what she has to say about these headlines and trending topics tonight. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
When my family does Walt Disney World Resort, we do it big.
Bippity boppity big, like Cinderella Castle.
Big, like those juicy turkey legs from Gaston's Tavern.
It doesn't get any bigger than the Tam Tam Drummers. Get it, Grandma.
Yeah, and big like Goofy's kicks. Oh,
yeah.
It's your world, so do it big at Walt Disney World Resort.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. On the line, we have Fahima from D.C. staying up late with us. We always appreciate when Fahima drops in. How are you?
I'm fine, Jill, and thank you for taking my call. I'm going to share a different perspective, and I think Deion Sanders has a right to do what he thinks is best for him. However, many of these PWIs are exploiting these black athletes. The black student population at Colorado is 2.6%. And I remember I was at a conference in Oklahoma a number of years ago, and I had a conversation with one of the students that was there, and she was sharing with me how they were exploiting these student athletes at many of the at Oklahoma, but at many of these PWIs, they don't care whether these students get their degrees or not. Many of them end up they don't like when I was at Howard, right? When I was at Howard, those our football players, they got their degrees. They played football. They got their degrees, but they got a degree and they played football. At the same time, there was a university. There was also in D.C. that starts with the name of George. And many of those students at this other university that starts with the name George, because there's a Georgetown and a George Washington. You know which one I'm talking about. They had people doing homework for these students. Many of them couldn't read, and they were exploiting them. Okay, and a lot of these predominantly white universities, these kids end up getting injured. They end up with nothing in the end. And I was sharing with Andy, okay, maybe now that some of these, they can do some endorsements and stuff, but how many of them are star athletes? Now, what was happening, there was a trend with, I think they call them 5-star athletes, basketball players. Many of them are choosing to go to the HBCUs. And Deion Sanders won one game. It ain't over yet. You know, and I just want to remind us how many of these predominantly white institutions are exploiting these black athletes, and many of them come out with no degree and injured, and they end up with nothing. And they're making millions of dollars off of them.
You have a great point, which is why NIL has kicked in as a means to compensate those college athletes. But I will say, as far as the education point, what I will point out is that as far as being what is deemed a successful athlete in football or, basketball, both are not considered. If a student stays 4 years in the program, they're considered as someone probably not built for the pro game. I know that seems crazy. I know it seems off base. I know that in theory, they are there to get their education, and that education is what they can take with them, to your point, no matter what. But for them, staying in school, I mean, NIL is different now because there's now money attached to it where they can make money. So there's a little more incentive, maybe, especially if you're talking about women's athletes, which we're not, but just throwing that in there to stay in school a little bit longer because the money is greater. But if their goal is to move into the professional ranks, they don't want to be there for 4 years. Maybe they'll go back. Steph Curry did it. Vince Carter did it. There is, I think, was it Russell? Maybe not Russell Wilson, but someone else, like another football player, quietly worked in the background and got his degree and came through. So I feel like, although it's a valid point, those athletes aren't necessarily going there with the mindset, no matter what, of worrying about their degree and finishing their degree. The players that are probably not in these type of programs.
Well, theoretically, an athletic scholarship is a means to an end. But in reality, how many are actually going to end up getting drafted and go to the pros? A very small percentage do. And I just know that at HBCUs, they make sure that these student athletes get their degrees as well as playing football and are able to acquire all the acronyms, Heisman trophies, and on profiles and all of that. But at the PWI, for the most part, they're exploiting a lot of these black athletes. And I think that we need to be looking at that as well. Deion Sanders has a right to do whatever he wants to do. He is a free individual. He has a right to do whatever he thinks is best for him. He won one game. It ain't over yet.
It is not over yet. When we come forward, we will have more on this topic. We'll get into some of the comments in the chat. And, of course, more trending topics and headlines. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm just gonna have another drink. And when I'm working on the weekend, I look back on this and think how we at the club going up.
Tuesday, got your girl in the cut, she chooses.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Every defendant in former President Trump's Georgia case is pleading not guilty. The final co-defendant in the election interference case waived their right to an in-person arraignment today. Trump and 18 others are accused of trying